Good morning. It's me, Maisha, back with another part of our 3D detox series, detoxing from distraction, being able to recognize deception so you don't end up delusional. This week's focus is on deception, and it's a little bit of a story time about how in my own life I was deceived. So I'm currently in my third marriage. My first marriage, I was married for just about 14 years. My second marriage, I walked out of, shouldn't have never walked into it. So I got married back in 2016. I said in the post yesterday that the enemy will disguise himself as the angel of light. So I met my second husband in the church, and for one, I thought, oh, he's saved. He's a man of God. After talking to him, he's been an assistant pastor before, and I would get this, whenever he would sit around me, I would feel the anointing. Now we'll talk about that a little bit later on in this. So I would feel the anointing, and I thought, oh, that was God. Well, anyway, I end up, I saw a few things that I would consider red flags. And, I even asked, he was a little thin, and I said, well, why are you so thin? And he told me that he was an only child and that his mom had just died. So he was suffering a little bit with depression. Okay. Me being me. Hey, I believed it. Okay. Believed the lie. So anyway, we go on, and I marry this man. I marry him. First of all, that's a whole nother story. You know, I should have dealt with my own trauma, so I would have been able to see things a little bit better. But either way it go, I was deceived. He told me that I was his second marriage. The job that I was on, I took a job, and it moved me to another area. As talked to him about, had he ever been there? XYZ said never been there, knew nothing about the area. Come to find out, survey says that was a lie. Got to that area, not only had he lived there, he had also been married there. To address the being thin, the red flag that came up, I thought that he had a drug issue. He said he didn't. Okay, turns out that was a lie. Not only did he have one, not only had he had one, he was still currently battling a drug addiction. And to be honest, he was delusional because he thought because the doctor gave him meds that didn't make it. They was prescribed meds that didn't make it abuse. Okay, anyway, go on. Not only that, after I'm married to him, I find out that not only has he been married multiple times, he has a criminal history for stealing checkbooks and all of this stuff. Now, mind you, man of God, everybody got a pass. I ain't judging nobody, but honey, everything that could come out came out. Okay, so I'm in this thing, and one lie after another lie is unfolding. I had 5 children. Okay, my children were pretty much grown. They were 18, 19, but they had their own places. He would borrow their cars and tell him he's going to do XYZ, take a little extra money off. He was borrowing money from everybody. Everybody knew except me. During this time, not only was I dealing with that deception, I ended up having a fly-by-night freak accident. My ACL tore just walking, so I couldn't drive anymore. I began to get sick. I didn't know that I was a diabetic. It began to surface. We ended up in a 3-year period. And I had made a vow before God. So once I was deceived and I made the vow, I was doing my best to try to honor the vow. In a 3-year period, I moved at least, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, it was 14 times. 14 times in a 3-year period. But I was determined to stick it out because I had made this vow, Lord, this is what and then I thought, this is what I got myself into. So I'm going to stick it out and I'm going to trust God. I like to lost my whole mind. After I finally did leave him, which burned up 3 years of my time. And that was just in time. Mentally, it took me a good little while to process things, like some years, to be honest. I walked out of that, but because I had been deceived so bad, I didn't trust anyone, so I wouldn't move forward or deal with anything new. I would only stay around the people that I knew and the places that I knew, a place of familiarity, which led me into, didn't start off intending for it to be a relationship, but I began to deal with a friend of mine, and that turned into a very toxic situation. So this is just to show you how being distracted, and I just wanted something good. I was distracted. Instead of focusing on me and my relationship with God, I was focused on a man. And that distraction uh, allowed me to be open to being deceived. You know, that thing was disguised as light. And so that deception, I stayed for so long, my them lies became my truths. Okay. I was delusional. Okay. But I thank God for grace. I thank God for grace that He allowed me to come out. His mercy and grace kept me. But I do want to say this. Some people never recover from delusion. Some people end up messed up. And the other thing was, once I had that injury, little by little, my health began to deteriorate, which I believe was a spiritual attack because I had connected with the wrong things because He was connected to the wrong things. So I'm saying all that to say the wisdom for today is you need to uh it's important to have a relationship with God. It's important to listen to people with wisdom so that you don't end up in places that you know nothing of. Because the one thing that will never change, and it is truth, sin will carry you farther than you want to go, keep you longer than you're willing to stay, and cost you a lot more than you're willing to pay. Um, it cost me a lot. That's why I'm passionate about talking to y'all, because that thing almost took me out. And I ain't even, that's and not even the surface of what happened. It almost took me out. So get your focus back. Get your focus back. Spend time with God. Allow Him to pour into you. Get to know Him so that you will be able to recognize the deception and walk away. Walk away and don't do like I did, get caught up. I can honestly say that one deception cost me, because I couldn't see. I was blind about 10 years of my life. So, and I don't want anybody else to make I don't want you to have that same experience. All right. Have a good day.